Good evening, Blue Nation. Welcome back to another episode of the Andy's Man Club Mersey Blue podcast. So we are a couple of days after Everton's defeat at Manchester City, and we're just going to offer our thoughts. But before we do, we've got a full team with us this evening. We have the co-host of our show, Carl, with us. How are you, my mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate, and you?
Yeah, I'm good. And we have the returning American correspondent and, of course, our close blue buddy, Mark. How are you, my mate?
Doing good, bud. Chiming in today from the San Francisco Bay Area. Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, home of my 49ers. A nice little win last night.
Yeah, it was a big win at home, yeah.
Okay, so, Carl, didn't you want to say something before we started tonight?
Yeah, just before we start, I just want to, hope, Royston Drenthe recovers from it. Apparently he had a stroke yesterday, which I couldn't believe when I saw it in the news. He's only like in his late 30s, I think. I know he likes to party a little bit, but no one should be suffering a stroke at that age. So I hope he recovers, and all the best to his family and stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I echo that, and I'm sure Mark does as well. Godspeed and get well soon, my friend. Okay, so let's get on to dissecting the Manchester City game, shall we? So the obvious one was we didn't have Jack Grealish. He was missing due, obviously, to City being his parent club and part of the loan deal. 4-2-3-1, Jordan Pickford between the sticks, Big Jake at right back, Tarkowski, Keane and Miko on left back, Garner Guy and Jimmy Garner, Ilian Ndiaye, KDH returning, Carlos Alcaraz and Beto up front. I'm just going to give you just a couple of highlights, guys. The one I really want to touch on the quarter of an hour mark, Ilian Ndiaye races down the left wing. He plays a beautiful ball across the goal. There's Beto running in. He has an absolute sitter. He's only got to touch it. He's only got to blow on it. He's only got to anything at all. Completely misses it. Wide open goal. An absolutely horrific miss. 10 minutes later, City win a corner. Foden crosses it. And there's Haaland. Jumps up, powers a big header. Rattles the crossbar. There's the warning signs. Half hour mark, 31 minutes. Ilian Ndiaye again. Breaks into the City area. Has a lovely little shot, forcing a good save out of Donnarumma. And just before half-time, Man City managed to bring a counter-attack. Only a good save from Pickford stops Doku from opening the scoring. First half comes to a close, 0-0, with chances for both sides. But guys, honestly, Beto's miss was an absolute shocker. Carl, give me your thoughts.
I thought we played really, really well in the first half. That's against the top team in City. I thought we were really, the chances that we created. I mean, Beto with two. I think in the second half we had really had a good chance as well. I think he was man of the match overall for Everton. He was absolutely brilliant. But just a quick, what thing I want to touch on about, the miss of Beto. As you say, it was like open on goal. All you have to do was sneeze or touch it and it went in. Now, last week, Thierry Barry missed one from almost similar from the other side of the goal, and he got slated for it. And I've not seen anybody on Twitter or anywhere saying that, this and the other about Beto. I think it's just ridiculous. I know we haven't got the best of strikers, but and that's something we need to obviously look at in January, even if it's somebody on loan. Get like a Duran or, there's a lot of rumours about Ivan Toney. But there was a situation in Goodison a little while back with his family and racial abuse and stuff, so I can't see that happening. And the fact he's on $300,000 a week and we're already paying Jack's wages, or so much of it. I'd love Ivan Toney, but I just can't see that. But that's a big, big thing in January, is we need to be getting a right back, because Jake O'Brien clearly is not a right back. It wasn't his best game against City. I know it's City and stuff, but it certainly wasn't his best game. And I think the last few games, he's been a bit hit and miss with it. So we definitely need to get a new right back. And maybe now a centre back as well. Or certainly get a right back so we can push O'Brien back into the central defence. But overall, the first half I was really impressed with, considering we were playing City.
Can't disagree with that, mate. Like I say, I just give a couple of highlights there. Mark, give us your thoughts, bud.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same old story. Unmarked men that should clearly be marked, and then no scoring touch from the strikers. Yeah, also, even though City's fallen off a little bit over the last couple of seasons, if you look at the stats, it's still a tale of two different levels in the league. And it just goes to show you that even though we've got some great players now that we all feel very confident in, if you can't tie them all together with one or two missing pieces, which is what we have, it's going to make the rest of those players not look nearly as good as what our confidence would indicate. And just to touch on a couple real quick, City had 6 through balls. We had none. They had 5 big chances missed. We had 1. They had 1 big chance scored. We had none. They had 46 touches in our box. We had 15. We were offsides once. They weren't offsides at all. So even though we hung with them for a while and we could have put one up on the board and that could have changed the tone of the match, maybe let us go into the room, tied at 1 or only down by 1. We failed to do that, and it's indicating the different levels of football. So my man of the match is Illy. I thought he played great. That one ball that he crossed in, he's that hip twist move that he's got where he goes towards the goal line and then he makes a cut back to his right side and then twists around again towards the goal. That buys him just enough time to chip one over every time. I love that move. It's great. And then I'm sure you guys saw him dribble through traffic. It was 3 or 4 guys about just outside of our penalty area going up the field. That was amazing. The guy's a human highlight reel. I didn't think Jordan played great. I thought he was Jordan, but I thought those goals were stoppable, although Tarky given a touch on that second one at the last minute, I don't know that you can expect any goalie to stop deflection from such a close range like that. We didn't have it today. It was a road game. Would have been happy with a point. Everybody in my supporters groups over here and over there both say the same thing. We would have been happy with a point.
Yeah. Again, like Carl's analysis, I'd have no arguments with that. Okay, let's go to a quick break from our sponsor, the amazing Andy's Man Club, and we will be back after that. Life is hard, and we all have bad days. There are times when we feel we can't cope. This is the time we need to reach out and talk to someone. Andy's Man Club offers local support groups nationwide, running every Monday from 7 p.m, except on bank holidays. In these groups, men can open up about the issues affecting their lives in a safe, non-judgmental environment. Our clubs are designed to be free of pressure. There is no obligation for men to speak, they can simply listen if they wish. Find us today at www.andysmanclub.co.uk. Help one guy, save one life. Andy's Man Club, it's good to talk. Okay, welcome back guys. That was our amazing sponsors, Andy's Man Club. Remember boys, it's good to talk. Okay, so second half, just before the hour mark, City opened the scoring. A defence splitting pass comes down the wing. I think it was O'Reilly got onto it. He just picks the ball up, straight crossover to Haaland. He just buries a header past JP. 1-0 to City. A few minutes later, 61 minutes, Ilian Njai, he has a little cross that kind of bobbles into the City area. Comes over to Jimmy Garner, who gets a shot off. The ball strikes the arm of, I think it was Bernardo. A penalty, surely. Clear cut. VAR says no. I will be interested to hear you boys and your opinion on that in a minute. But another absolute fucking Premier League joke. 63 minutes. Phil Foden crosses from outside the area to Savinho. He lays the ball back off to Haaland and he just lashes a low shot past Pickford. 2-0 City. game over for me. I think Geordie probably could have done a little bit better on that one. 5 minutes later, Foden nearly makes it 3, narrowly missing the top corner. We have a few Everton subs, 70 minutes, Tim Rabunum for Ghana Guy, Merlin Roll for Alcaraz, 75 minutes, Barry for Beto, 85 minutes, Diblin for Njai, McNeil for Keenan, Dewsbury Hall. A couple of minutes into injury time, and it's nearly 3-0. Cherky hit a shot that got deflected, and it went wide. Full time, City 2, Everton 0. Mark, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so you're 100% correct that had that defender been wearing an Everton blue shirt, it would have been a penalty. We got screwed again. We always do when it comes to the penalties, it seems like 90% of the time. But once again, I'm looking at the second half stats. We're not making our own luck. It's true that we have bad luck, but we're not making ourselves any good luck. It was 408 passes to 136 passes. Our goalie had to make 2 saves. Their goalie had to make 0 saves. The corners were fairly even, 3-2 in favor of them. But the free kicks, they more than doubled us up on that, 7-3. So, I mean, we're really missing these pieces. I would have liked to have recognized earlier on, maybe at the 70-minute mark, maybe even at the 65-minute mark, that, you know, we're in the Etihad and we're down. Nothing's really working for us. Let's make some subs earlier. I don't know that putting these guys on with 6 minutes to go is going to do anything for us or them. So if we're not going to salvage any points, then let's at least get some minutes, some substantial minutes for these guys, so that we'll be looking better going into the so that we can look better going forward. We need to be able to salvage something if it's no points. That's my thought for that.
Fair points, mate. Carl?
I wasn't sure whether it was a penalty, to be fair. First I thought it was, and then I was like, because he was getting quite close to the ground only when it hit his arm. So I was like, is it or isn't it? So I was like, some you get, some you don't. And, oh, look, we don't get them. So I say, I didn't think at the time, 100% penalty. I thought second half, after 10 minutes of the second half, they scored. And from then on, it was just a one-way street for them. They couldn't have ended up with 3 or 4 in the end, which thankfully for us and our goal difference it hasn't been. Substitutes came on. I thought they did okay. Thought Merlin Roll did good when he came on. He had a half chance, I think, didn't he, in the second half? So, but other than that, I wasn't expecting anything. If we'd have got a point like a half hoped, then I would have been well happy with it, because we've got Spurs at home, which is another tough game next week. But we're at home and we're unbeaten at home. We can take that confidence into that game and hopefully get at least something. If somebody had said to me last week, you're playing City and Spurs and you're going to get 4 points, then I would have took it. It's like when we played West Ham and Crystal Palace. I thought Palace had beat us and we beat them. I thought West Ham we'd win. And, we got 4 points out of that. So, we need to start winning again. Obviously, we've got to play after that. We've got to play Sunderland, I think, and Fulham. So they're winnable games. So hopefully, come Christmas when it's busy, we'll be in a decent position. Because I can't see us going down, looking at the bottom teams and how bad they're performing. I know West Ham are playing tonight. But Wolves look a shocking team at the minute. I know they beat us in the cup. But, we should have smashed. Well, we did beat them in the league, but we should have smashed them. But other than that, I thought, deserved 3 points for City in the end. They could have been 3 or 4. We weren't great.
Yeah, going into these next matches, I think we can get 9 points. I'll be unhappy if we don't get. I'll be unhappy if we don't get 8 of them, 7 of them. Tottenham's got a differential of +7. We currently have a differential of 0. So, we're given as good as we get. We'll have to step up, but we will be playing at the Bramley Moor. But as we all know, and we haven't addressed yet in the show, we know now that we're not going to have Jared back. So I think that's a concern going forward. I was hoping to see the back line, get bolstered up with last week's news of, hey, everybody's, back on the grass again. I don't know if maybe we try to get this Asnu some minutes, but I want to see our best players play in the intended position that they were signed to play. And so I think we need to consider that going into the next 3 matches.
Yeah. I'll touch briefly on Jared. Stories are broken, haven't they? That it's been like complications with the recovery of the injury, and I think he's actually having surgery. So it's just kicking the balls, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Marco off air always says Everton, aren't we? And totally. Quickly then, guys, my final thoughts. I'll be honest with you all. I wasn't really confident I was getting a result before kick-off. I've been saying all week in work. I don't think they turn the screw, and Haaland has come into form, and he's a bloody handful. So I didn't really expect that. And they took your arm off before kick-off for a point. Beto's miss was god-awful. And again, we say it every week on the show, it highlights the fact we are desperate for a striker. The penalty decision at 1-0 down was a fucking joke. What is a penalty these days? Carl was saying he wasn't too sure. Marco was with me, nailed on. That'll be given next week to a cunt in a red shirt,
exactly.
Anfield or Old Trafford, and like Carl touched on, I agree there as well. The score could have been a whole lot worse. Haaland could have had 4. I think it was actually Pep actually said after the game, I think, that Haaland could have had 4 or 5, and I'd agree with him. Move on to Spurs at the Dixie on Sunday. We need 3 points from it. Just quickly, Carl and I attended the Everton ladies against Man U ladies at the Dixie last week. We just went for a little scout, really, and it was a nice little day out and stuff. What I don't like about the new stadium is the fact that where the visiting fans sit, they're in a corner, they're nice and loud. We missed a trick there. We should have put them up in the top rafters like they have at St James's Park at Newcastle, and just fucking stick them away. Because to me, you're giving them an advantage. I mean, I know I'm going off topic a little bit there, guys, but sort of talking about Spurs at the Dixie there, we don't want to make anybody welcome. Like Carl said, we're unbeaten. We want it to be honourable. We want that old Fortress Goodison back there, and fuck all these visiting teams. It's Everton or it's no one. We move on. Marco, give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, back to the penalty, I agree with Carl that it was scanty criteria, but had it been us, it would have been called, is the only place that I disagree. Beto could have scored, and we could have gotten a penalty, but had we converted on both those chances, we still would have only been stealing 1 point, because the statistics tell a different tape, and we were just outclassed across the board. My final thought is that we are missing 2 key pieces to bring all of our talent together, and it can be done. I hope that this fella that plays for Arsenal, I hope that this lead gains some traction, and that maybe we can sign him in the January window. The Brazilian fella.
Yeah. Carl, give your final thoughts, bud.
Yeah, I think obviously it wasn't a crazy second half for us. I think we need to make some changes. Now, I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but I wouldn't be surprised. Not surprised, but I wouldn't be averse to putting James Garner at right back. He's played really well there and pushed Thinger into the centre. O'Brien, that's his natural position. I think James Garner, he's played both left and right, and he's had a decent performance, even in his unnatural position. So I'd certainly put him there. In the January window, we need to buy a striker and a right back. Clearly, they're the 2 priorities, 100%. Whether that's Jesus or whether that's Duran. I've seen Ivan Toney mentioned. Just somebody with a proven record in the Premier League that can get us the goals, because without it, we're going to finish 13th, 14th in the season, and not 8th or 9th where we hope to finish in just around European. places. That's what's going to kill us. Now, Ilya and Jai, brilliant performance. As you say, man of the match. We'll have Jack back next week. We'll have, obviously, KDH playing. But I'm not sure. There's times when I was watching City, I was like, I know Jack wasn't playing. He's ineligible. But it was like, did this midfield really, or the attacking three, do they really work? As fantastic as they are as players, do they really work as a three? Because surely Beto, he can't be as bad as he has been. You look at him at the end of last season, he was banging goals in left and centre. So, unless something has happened and he's put something in his tea, some drugs or something that he may make him not go anywhere near the ball. I don't know what's going on.
No, I agree with Carl. We need the right back and we need the striker, and those two things would be a huge jump for us. It would really tie everything together.
I'd love a right winger as well, a pacey one. I know Tyler Devlin we got, and he is quite quick, but he likes to cut in and stuff, doesn't he? So we want someone without no pace. Someone like a Fafana that we were linked with that didn't happen for one reason or another. Maybe he thought we weren't good enough at the time. Now, if we can finish in the top 8 and 9, then that might convince him to come in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just say that we don't condone performance-enhancing drugs here on the show? So we're going to leave it there anyway, guys. That was our little take on Manchester City versus Everton. Carl, pleasure as always, mate. Thank you for your time, your opinions and your friendship.
No problem, mate. Anytime. I'm always here. Well, mostly here. Unless I'm really dying of flu or something. But mostly I'm here and I look forward to each pod that we do.
And Marco, same again, mate. Absolutely fantastic to have you. I hope you're enjoying your time in San Francisco, bud. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, same to you boys as well. I wanted to let you know before we go, I went to the footy bar in San Francisco. It's called McTeague's. It's on, I don't remember where it was, but they didn't have the same turnout that we had down at Fox and Hounds with the SoCal boys. I had one guy, and he was kind of the head of the San Francisco Bay Evertonians, and he said normally we get 4, 5, 6 people in there, but so far, our most loyal support over here is a toss-up between the Chicago Toffees and the SoCal Toffees. So it was good to watch the game with Brendan. Nice fella, great bar. But I'm hoping next time for a better turnout, both on the pitch and in the supporters group. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We do thank our American Toffees who follow us an awful lot, as well as all you guys who listen to us each and every week. Okay, all that's left to be said. Send us out, Marco. Up the fucking Toffees.